all year round.
And welcome back to White Mountains Day. It's time for White Birch Books Corner. Laura Cummings from White Birch Books, of course, is on the set to join us. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning. It's been a while.
Welcome back. I'm so glad to see you back because you really do hook me up with the summer reading list.
Yes.
For the entire summer. Plus, you bring some of my favorite items that I own. I'm not even kidding. It was maybe a little sad, but I love the socks.
Well, that's the thing. You know, bookstores aren't just bookstores anymore. We do have all this really cool stuff, too. And that's what people is like, you know, gone are the days when it's like, I don't really read. I have no reason to go to a bookstore. And it's like, well, come into our bookstore because there's a lot more going on than just the book. I mean, obviously the books are the focus.
Yeah.
But we do have all this
I don't
fun
think I
stuff
leave
too.
with ever just a book.
No, and that's what's fun because it's like you find a little treat
Yes,
in there.
and you guys are so good about loading up that counter area, you know, the impulse shopping area. I'm like, oh, they're so cute. But teacher gifts, all sorts of, you know, of course, the gift certificates. But I love to get stuff that you know the teacher likes, you know, like nice bookmarks or pens or... Let's talk about these puzzles. These are new.
These puzzles. I just want to talk about finding fun stuff. I just went to down to New York to the gift show, and this is where we found these. These are made in New England. They're wooden puzzles, and it's a very you know, kind of environmentally conscious company. They're giving money away from the sale of these to different, you know, eco organizations or children's organizations, and they're beautiful wooden puzzles, and each one has, each of the adult ones has these 5 special pieces. You know, so you've got your regular jigsaw, and then you've got your fun shaped pieces.
They're so cool.
And then they do have children's version, which is, this happened, you probably can't see that, but that's a little fairy. They are the same size, but the pieces are bigger.
Okay,
so in this one where there's maybe 100 puzzle pieces, this one maybe has 40 or 50, and they're just beautiful, and you can kind of put them out and have it be a coffee table piece, or you just take it out and do it again many times, and some people will frame them or whatever. We have a sample at the front, and I keep taking all the special pieces out, and kids come in and put all the special pieces in. It's really fun. But we just got these.
The picture? Is that what's on?
That's the
there?
picture. Yes.
Oh, very cool.
If I were to tell them, I'd say I'd make that a little bit bigger. But you know, they're a new company, and it was fun to find them, and you know, to find them right in New England too. So that was fun.
That's great about your shop. You really do bring in stuff that interests you.
Right.
And Phineas, of course, your son. So there's a kid factor going on in there, as well as the ladies and I'm sure the young people that you employ as well.
Right, and that's the thing. When we go out to these things, I'm like a kid in the candy shop. I'm just like, oh, I really like that and everything.
Like, Laura, simmer down.
I know. Stop buying stuff.
Now, you mentioned fairies. This one was, did you mention fairies?
Yes, this one was the fairy thing.
Yeah,
so yes.
I was like, bang the fairies around. Like,
I know, these poor fairies. We just got these back in, and these are these very intricate, and you can pose them. And we're just fully stocked up because we are going to be participating in this year's Fairy Festival, which is going to be at Cranmore. I think it's the 17th and 18th. It's a Friday, Saturday.
I don't have my cheat sheet, but
no,
I'll take your word for it.
But I think so. And it's 11 to 2, and as far as I know, it's a free thing. And so we'll have these fairies there. We'll have the fairy puzzles. We have the little fairy land, you know, I don't know, still lifes, yes, that
the mason jar
that Julia makes for us at the store, and we'll have fairy coloring books and fairy books, and I think as of today, we now have a fairy door at the bookstore, so you have to come and find it. We're on the fairy door tour.
Say that.
Yes, I know. Well, Julia, who works for me, is very much. She has her own fairy wings, so she's very much in it.
Oh,
she's
that's
in
great.
it.
All right. So let's segue into books.
Okay, some books.
because summertime people are looking for the reeds, they're looking for the hot things coming out, as well as the beach reeds or the more bulkier reeds for home.
Right. So I want to start right away with this one, Before the Fall, and that one literally just came out on Tuesday, and it's really all I can talk about. It's a fantastic book. It's a story of private plane. I mean, it's not a fun story. A private plane crashes on its way from Martha's Vineyard to New York. And it's an amazing story. One man survives, and he swims to safety, also towing a 4-year-old. They're the only two who survive out of 11 or 12 people. And it's like the media are all over this great hero, this heroic story. And that's the first blush. But then they look a little deeper, and it's like, wait, who is this guy? And the guy who survives is like a 50-something, kind of washed up painter. And it's like, what was he doing on this private jet? And then you find out on the private plane is a media mogul and his family, of which the 4-year-old is now the sole survivor. So picture like a Fox News type of thing. And then the other people on the plane was somebody who was about to be picked up for maybe insider trading or something. So in other words, very wealthy people.
Right.
And so then the whole media starts spinning like, who is he? Why was he there? Why did the plane go down? What does he have to do with it? And so it's really a look at the media, at all this money, the 1% versus the 99%. And how it all, and the way he tells the story is fantastic, because the plane crashes at the beginning, and then you slowly go into these people's lives and how they were all there at the same time, and then eventually you do find out what happens, and it's a great, it's one of those you keep going.
All right, so that's a great read, and it's not huge.
No.
You could probably get through it.
And I should say, and I keep forgetting, but for some people this will be a real push, but the author, Noah Hawley, is I don't know if he's the writer, the producer, the force behind the TV show Fargo, as well as several other.
Great.
So when you start thinking of the sensibility of that, and everything, he brings it to bear here.
Awesome. So excellent book.
Yes. Yes,
you
very high on it.
All right, good. And what's this, The Nest?
The Nest. I love The Nest, too. So this was...
do you love all these books?
I do love all these books. The Nest is a great story. There's 4 siblings, and their father set aside some money for them at some point, and it actually did very, very well. And the deal is they get it when the youngest turns 40. So their whole lives they've been waiting for the nest. And then the oldest, who's like the most successful, the playboy, the whatever, he gets himself into quite a jam. And the mother dips into the nest to clear it away, to make it go away. So now all of a sudden the other siblings who've been waiting, one, her family life is kind of their wealth is really a facade. She's just been waiting for the nest.
I'm feeling stress here.
I know. And then the other, the brother who's been, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and he's been, they've just been waiting for this. And the older brother just blows it all, and he keeps saying he'll pay it back. Anyway, it's a great story. Family dynamics, again, money. And what happens when the nest isn't there? Maybe the nest isn't a good thing to have. Right. I don't know. It's a great sibling rivalry read type of thing.
That does sound interesting. Okay, let's move on to the stack there.
This stack is a trilogy, and I brought these here by. This is author D.A. Keeley. He's actually going to be with us on the 13th. We're doing a luncheon with him. This is a mystery series. Basically, it's a Maine Border Patrol agent. Set up, that dangerous Canadian border. Building the wall up north. But it's actually a very interesting. It's a busy border apparently these days, and so he is here to celebrate his 3rd book, and he's been up here before. He came to the Cold River Radio Show, was a guest, and our Mystery Book Club read the first book in the series, and we Skyped with him, because we're so high tech over at White Birch Books.
You're like, wait, ladies,
I'm like, you're frozen again. But it was very fun. So we're looking forward to that. And there are still tickets available if people are interested.
And that's over at the
Sea Dog.
Yes. Brewing Company.
Yes.
Great.
And
that usually includes a lunch, light
you
fare.
You get a lunch and a dessert, and then he'll talk during the dessert portion, and if people are interested in the books, we'll have the books there to sign afterwards. And the money goes to the North Conway Library. So
I love that you give back to the libraries.
Well,
because people are like, she owns a bookstore, why would she help the libraries? But you just love reading.
It all works together. You need your readers, however they read. They need to stay readers. It's kind of like, the free teaching people to ski for free. You need skiers to have a ski area. You need readers to have a bookstore.
Absolutely. So. And I have to say, and this isn't just because you're sitting here, but going into White Birch Books, though, it's a special treat for me. And bringing home a book or giving a book is a special treat. So while I love the libraries and my kids go to the library every week, there's something special about bringing something home from the bookstore.
Well, I should say my granddaughter, I guess her little class went to the library. She's in, preschool or whatever. And the whole way there, she's like, why are we going here? Why are we going to Nana Laura's White Birch Books?
You're like,
and I'm like, you go, girl. But
I love it. But yeah, each has its own place. I'm glad that you're supporting them.
Right.
Let's move on down the line.
Okay, we'll do just, I will say, I did bring it, June is Father's Day. It doesn't include fathers. Yes. So I did include a couple guy books down there at the end.
Oh, that's such a great idea.
I tried. So Redemption Road by John Hart is just a fantastic book. It's like 4 or 5 books into one. It is so complex, but yet you don't lose the thread. It's not like it's so high or whatever. It's just like I was trying to explain to somebody, I was like, well, this person is involved in this, but she also has this, and then there's this, and then there's her father, and then there's this, and everything. And he is just a master at it, and it's a great, it's a great read for anyone, but it's definitely a great dad read.
Okay, and that has nothing to do with the movie Redemption, right?
No.
Redemption. Okay.
No, it doesn't, but it was a great read. But I will show you this one, The City of Mirrors. This is kind of my little indulgence. This is Jonathan.
Is it romance?
No, it's maybe Stephen King territory a little bit. So this is the final book in a trilogy. It started with The Passage, and then there was the 12, and now there's The City of Mirrors. And the gist is that the defense people found this weird virus. They injected people with it to see what were going to happen. 12 people who happened to all be like death row, horrible. Right. Nobody cared about them. And by doing that, they created this horrible virus master race. They call them virals or vamps or whatever. So they're not really vampires, but they're kind of like that. Yeah, so
it's kind of like
100 years later, there's just these very small outposts of humanity. And so this book, this trilogy follows that whole thing. And this is the big ending. And I have to say, the first book was terrifying. The second book was like a kind of a humanity comeback. Yeah. And this last book, I didn't know how he was going to end it up, but he somehow ends this trilogy in such a way that even the bad people who aren't really bad, there's never total good and there's never total evil. But even the people who are, I guess, bad, they have good endings. And it's just, it's a smarter, it's a horror story, but with a very kind of literary bent, I guess. I loved it.
And do you have to read the whole trilogy, would you recommend, or can you just pick up that book?
I would say you have to read the whole trilogy, and you'd want to. Okay. And we do have them all. And it's about, probably all told, about 2,000 pages, so pace yourself.
Right.
But I'm sure someday it's going to be a movie treatment, or,
So get it now.
They'll Game of Thrones it or something like that, and it'll be what everybody is talking about.
All right, and just touch real quick on that little bear and the piano, because it's so cute.
Oh, I know. Here, I'll let you hold this one. I love this one. We read this at Storytime on our independent bookstore day, and this bear finds a piano in the woods. And he starts playing it, and he plays it, and he plays it, and all the forest animals come and enjoy it, and they determine, and he determines he needs a wider audience. So he takes a boat and goes to the city, and then he's in a tuxedo playing for crowds and, on the stage, and everybody loves it. But in the end, he comes back and his piano, and will his friends come back and everything, and they do. And it's just a great one. It's about music. It's about friends. It's
great.
about reaching out.
Wonderful.
And it's beautiful illustrations.
Wonderful. Well, that's a great ending. Laura, thank you so much. And White Birch Books is located just south of North Conway Village, Schuler Park. So if you're going south, it's going to be on your right. There's a little defunct gas station there.
Yes.
And you guys are right beside that, across from
TD Bank.
Which
Yep.
is a better description, because
It's
that place
hard
has been
'cause it's
empty
hard.
forever.
Yes.
People will see it. But you guys have a beautiful building, fresh paint last summer, right?
It still looks great.
Good. So they're right in there. It's well worth the effort. It's not even effort. It's well worth the trip to get in there and find out what's going to be your book for the summer. So Dad's presents, we have something for the kiddos. We have the summer reads, beach reads, plus the whole sock.
Right.
Fairy.
And the fairies.
And the
yeah.
fairies.
Yeah.
So, Laura, thanks again for coming on over. Online, is it best on Facebook?
Yes, find us on Facebook, White Birch Books. We do have our website, whitebirchbooks.com, which has our events and our book groups and everything like that. And watch our staff pick videos.
Good.
We've got some fun stuff. My cat will be doing staff picks soon.
All right.
Yes.
Awesome. I'll look forward to that. Thanks, Laura. All right, folks, we have a